Welcome, everyone. I'm Patrice, and this is Navigating the Journey, Episode 11 Embrace Your Happiness. Before starting to write this episode, I thought it would be good to spend some time discovering what true happiness means to me. By definition, happiness is an emotional state characterized by feelings of joy, satisfaction, contentment, and fulfillment. Some of the things that make me happy are good health, close friends and family, and financial stability. But if happiness is just an emotion, what if your emotions shift? How do we learn to choose happiness when circumstances bring other emotions to the surface? Today we will discuss 3 ways to embrace your happiness in every step of your journey. Let's navigate. The first step to fully embracing happiness is understanding the foundation of why these things bring you joy. My family is at the very top of my list of things that make me happy. The foundation for that comes from being raised to value the time we spend and to nurture the relationships we have. I know that if I'm ever having a bad day, because of the foundation that my family has established, I can always count on them to bring me out of it. Financial stability is also high on the list of things that make me happy. Early on in my life, I made some financial mistakes, as I'm sure we all have, and in those moments, happiness turned into stress. Instead of giving up, I leveraged the knowledge and financial resources that I'd gained over the years. It was this foundation that allowed me to create and embrace my happiness as it related to maintaining financial stability. Instead of being overwhelmed by uncertainty and other emotions, I knew I had everything I needed. If your happiness is rooted on a solid foundation, even in the midst of confusion, you can embrace it and remain grounded and focused. The second step to fully embracing your happiness is believing you deserve it. Oftentimes, belief can dictate what you will or won't do. If you believe something tastes bad, you won't eat it. If you believe something's unsafe, you likely won't do it. If you believe you're not worthy of something, then you'll talk yourself out of pursuing it. In some cases, your beliefs can keep you out of harm's way, and in some cases, your beliefs can hinder you from embracing your happiness. I recall speaking to an ex-employee who at the time was struggling with this. They'd just been offered a job doing something they love, but they didn't believe they deserved to be happy about it because others around them weren't having the same success. While I believe you should always be empathetic to the circumstances of others, I also believe that you shouldn't allow those circumstances to dictate your happiness. In episodes 4 and 5, we talked about how we all go through seasons at different times of our lives. It's important to recognize your season and understand that just because it doesn't align with those around you doesn't mean you're undeserving. Your happiness might actually be the inspiration someone needs to overcome their rough patch. The third step to embracing your happiness is continuing to add to your happiness catalog. Now you might be thinking, what's a happiness catalog? It's simply the running list of things in your life that bring you happiness. Keep track of the moments, people, activities, things that bring you happiness. The more of these you add to your catalog, the less space you'll have for negativity. To be successful in building your catalog, you must understand that the things that made you happy at 15 likely won't bring the same kind of happiness at 40. As we get older, our goals and ambitions, as well as priorities, change, and so will the things that make you happy. This doesn't mean you replace what's already in the catalog. It means you now have additional things to add. It's so easy to get overwhelmed with life, causing our happiness to take a backseat. A robust catalog helps make sure in those moments where you need to embrace your happiness the most, there's plenty to choose from. Another great thing about having a catalog is that it can be shared. There are times when you may find yourself thinking you've outgrown a form of happiness in your life, but it's important to stop and think how that thing could be helpful for someone else. Happiness shouldn't be treated like something you have to swap out in order to enjoy something else. There's plenty of room in your journey for all of it. I believe you can never have too much of a good thing. Embracing happiness is about so much more than saying, this makes me happy, so I do it. You have to understand the foundation so that in moments where your emotions say otherwise, you can still find your happiness and thrive. Make sure your belief is one of deserving versus undeserving. You deserve every moment of happiness that comes your way. Remember to keep track of the moments, things, and people that bring you happiness. This grows your happiness catalog and minimizes the opportunities for anything that doesn't pour into you. Now that you've digested these 3 components, ask yourself, are you embracing your happiness or just existing in the moment? Be sure to follow Navigating the Journey on Instagram and Facebook, share with at least one person, and follow wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, before we depart, it's okay to stumble over the blocks and step on the stones. Those are temporary detours, and your main road is just ahead.